Hello everyone. So I'm out here on the farm today with Hurley. It's back there. Tiffany had a bunch of work to do, so I came out here to get some trees planted and also get our garden fence up, an electric fence so the deer won't eat all of our crops. So yeah, I'm gonna get some work done out here, and why don't y'all join me? Let's go. Let's go, Hurley. Come on. So we're in the pasture where the garden is, but on the north side, and close to the edge of the pasture back here, because a lot of these trees that we're going to be planting are going to be, canopy layer large trees. First set of trees here are pecans or pecans, depending on where you're from. So we've got a variety called Cape Fear. Then the next group of trees we have here, some more pecans. They are the candy variety. This was a request from Tiffany. She really wanted a weeping willow tree. So we got a weeping willow, probably not in this field, probably actually up front near the larger shed, the big pole barn up there. But yeah, we've also got a weeping willow. So now time to plant these. Basically gonna dig quite a large size hole. I've got some compost, some of the compost we purchased for the garden. Going to be using that in some of the holes just so they have a nice spot to get established in. All right, so I've set out some T-posts about 30 feet. I measured in paces because I don't have my long tape measure out here. But they ideally like nut trees like this that are going to be huge trees later on in life, you want to give them a lot of space. So we gave these about, like I said, about 30 feet. And yeah, I've got 2 rows. I'm gonna do one type on the back row, which is south, and then some on the north row, and they're offset so that the shade isn't full on the rows. All right, so we're ready to start planting the trees. We got a hole dug until it's a bit deeper than necessary. Actually, that one's just about right. But right here where the tape is going to be the graft union, where the original scion, so this is the Cape Fear variety pecan or pecan, and it is grafted onto this rootstock. So the tape lets you know that's where the rootstock is, and then we don't want to bury it, definitely not below that, but it looks like a little root right there, so we might bury it up to just about right there. A little bit more native soil, some more compost. That's looking like a good mixture to plant into. So let's see, let's get our distance right. So we want to be to at least here. And dig a little bit more. Right about there. Let's do it. Start backfilling. A little bit more compost on top. I want to make sure this is straight. Down. All right, so here is the new start of the nut orchard, or the pecan orchard. We've got 3 on the south side and 3 offset on the north side. So they're about 30 feet apart. So it'll be a nice open orchard, allowing them to get nice and big. 7 to 10 years we'll be getting nuts from these. So it's a long-term investment, but the best time to plant a tree is now. So I almost forgot one of the most important parts of planting a tree, especially this time of year, giving it some water. So we're gonna pour some water on these and water them in to make sure they're okay. We are getting water here in probably like 2 or 3 days, but they've been bare root and dormant for a while, so they definitely need some water. Now we've completed the planting of the trees. We still do have to put some fencing up. All right, so I'm here at the garden and I'm gonna start working on putting our electric fence up. Yeah, so we've just got some poly wire that we're gonna put up and we've got a solar electric fence supplier, or charger, I guess. Alright, so I've got all of the insulators. I've got these round insulators, if you can see that, for the wire. I've got 4 of them. We'll probably end up adding a 5th line for a tripwire, like a few feet out from this, but this is our start to the fence. I've also extended the garden, so if we want to expand this season, we'll have some space to do that. Alright, so here is the poly wire we're using. 2mm, 1/16 inch. Supposedly got 1,300 feet, so that should be more than enough. So yeah, we're gonna get stringing. Alright, I've got the poly wire strung. I still have to clean up some of this to where it'll actually electrify and not ground to the post. And I have to make our doorway, but that might be it for now. I'm gonna jump onto another project. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. We got enough wire. I think that's pretty, I mean, it's 6 feet. So I think a deer will have to have some good agility and good jumps to get through this. All right, so I've got a few more trees I want to plant, actually a few shrubs as well. So right here I've got a persimmon tree, an American persimmon. We got this for free from Trees Upstate in South Carolina. They do free tree giveaways every year. You can get like 2 free trees if you sign up. I think typically you can even just show up and pick up free trees. So it's a great resource to get some extra trees. So yeah, we're gonna plant this one. Also got a redbud tree. So that's a nice pretty native tree as well that we'll put a little bit further down here. So yeah, let's plant some more trees. Pretty root bound, so I'm gonna tease apart some of the roots here. Establish a little bit better. Here we are. Hopefully we'll have some persimmons in a year or two. Alright, that's those trees. Let's see what else we got. Alright, we've got even more trees we're going to plant out. I've got some elderberry. I'm going to plant one elderberry here. And then some pawpaws that I started from seed, I guess last year. Actually maybe in 2020, so they might be almost 2 years old. But yeah, we're going to plant them in the slower section here. A little bit less sunlight, but still late day sun. So I think the elderberries will like this lower spot. A lot of brambles, so we'll have to probably maintain around here. But yeah, let's get some more trees in the ground. Check out those roots. I dug it up. It was a small little seedling last spring. There. It was a small seedling last year, but I started just taking little cuttings off of the tip and just kept sticking them in dirt, actually in the same pot. And I got like 3 or 4 new sprouts. And this one's already sprouting back here in February. So it's ready to grow. Alright, there's the elderberries and pawpaws. Alright, now we have our gooseberry. It's been in our shade garden back home for a few years and just hasn't really done well. So I'm gonna find a little bit sunnier of a spot here. Kind of at the entrance to our garden area. This is like the entrance we made from the first pasture. So there's a little bit of shade here, at least early in the day. So this will get some late day sun. So yeah, let's plant a gooseberry. Too badly root bound. I think it'll be good to just put in like that. Alright, there's our fancy marker so that nobody runs over it. We just have one more elderberry and the willow. So we got to plant that willow, the weeping willow. I think both of those are going to go up front. So I'm probably going to pack up and drive up front. Alright, so the last 2 trees we have to plant today are the weeping willow as well as an elderberry. So both of these trees we got fairly recently. Actually, the elderberry is from last year, but this weeping willow is from Carolina Wild Harvest plant haul from Willis Orchards, I believe. So definitely check that out if you haven't seen that. Get some more details on where we got these trees from. So yeah, we're gonna plant both of these up front. So here's the old house back here, and the front of our property is right up here. So I think eventually we're gonna have a pond in this area. So I want to put the weeping willow as well as a elderberry somewhere where there's already kind of a wet spot, which there's a drain from our road over here. I think eventually this area would be the pond. I'm going to put the weeping willow and the elderberry right over here somewhere.
Little flowers.
Alright, so there is the weeping willow. Just a few steps back in there. A little stake so we don't get run over. There we are. There's our weeping willow. Alright, so the last tree or shrub I have to plant today is this elderberry. This is one from I actually forget where we purchased it from, but we bought three elderberries last year and planted 2 at the current house where most of Carolina videos are shot. And we saved this one, so we're going to plant it out here on the farm. So we're kind of up front, planted the willow tree just down here, close to what I think may eventually be a pond. So the elderberry is going to go pretty close by, a little bit closer to the front. But yeah, let's get the elderberry planted. This one's probably pretty root bound. Too bad, actually. We caught it right in time. There we have it. That's gonna do it for today, y'all. So yeah, lots of tree planting and farm work. Yeah, I think that's everything. I gotta check my list to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed hanging out with me today and seeing the farm and watching me and Hurley get some work done out here. If you did, definitely give us a like, hit subscribe here. And again, if you're interested in gardening and horticulture and forestry stuff, make sure you subscribe to Carolina Wild Harvest. We do a lot of gardening stuff there, and lots of our farm work is going to be featured there as well, so be sure to check that out. All right, we'll see y'all next time.